Hello and welcome to KubeKanvas. We all know that base 64 encoding is not encryption. It is just obfuscation that anyone with a terminal can crack in 3 seconds. But usually fixing it means setting up an expensive vault or complex cloud plugins that take days to configure. In this video, I'm going to show you how to encrypt your Kubernetes secrets using KubeCanvas directly in your browser without any third-party tools. To understand how KubeCanvas allows you to encrypt your secrets without any external setup, let's take an example. We have a stateful set for the database. Let's say this is my database, and I create a secret to safely configure the username and password for the database. So here is the username, and I'll assign value, simple value like root, and then I have password, database password actually, and the value is simple, my password. I want to encrypt them before saving the project at KubeCanvas. You can see here it tells me that two values cannot be saved because the project doesn't allow saving plain text values. Now in some cases, for example, you are testing something or you don't care at the moment, you are just using these dumb username and password like I have done, you can simply save in unencrypted secrets, and that means unencrypted secrets will be saved in KubeCanvas database. So I don't want to do at the moment. And you can see it is telling you, the UI is telling you some values are not encrypted. Click the lock icon next to each value to encrypt it. Now before we can encrypt, we need our encryption key. If I go to the KubeCanvas documentation page, I should go to the KubeCanvas keys command page. So we have keys generate, keys import, keys copy, keys delete. These commands are used to generate your key pair, private and public key pair. It is important to understand that gives the public key in its database used to encrypt the secrets, but your private key never leaves your computer, and the KubeCanvas CLI uses the private key to decrypt the values. So basically it stays in your computer, specifically in your keychain, and it is never sent outside your machine. So before moving forward, to make it a realistic example, I would like to connect the secret with the database. So that means this database uses this secret. You of course need to have KubeCanvas CLI installed. So if I do this KubeCanvas version, I can see it is installed. I already have the keys generated because I ran the configure command, and that's why the keys are already there. It is asking me, the UI is helping me, it is asking me to click on the lock icon. So you can see the simple lock icon, I click here and username got encrypted, and similarly on the password got encrypted. Notice how the moment I click encrypt, values into ciphertext right there in the browser, and the values actually never left my machine as plain text. This means even if someone intercepts your traffic or hacks our database, they see nothing but gibberish. Now let us deploy this small setup using KubeCanvas CLI and see what happens. So first thing, I need to connect. It is asking me to log in the CLI. So I'll go to a new tab and log into the CLI. Okay, yes, so my CLI is now connected, and I would like to deploy it simple in Docker desktop. So next, and this is my release name and namespace. I'm okay with these configurations, and then create release. It's creating, pending, installing, now deployed. Now let's verify this using kubectl. So I'll go back to my terminal and let's see what we have. So kubectl get secret -n, what was the name of my namespace? Secrets demo. Okay, I can see the secret here. Now let us describe it. So get secret -n secrets demo and -o YAML. So you can see here is my password, here is my username, and if decode it, you see my password, and similarly I think this one is also correct root. So this is how, while deploying the your private key was used to decrypt and then deploy. But this all was done inside the CLI, so that means your encrypted secrets are secure. If you look at the YAML, you can see this is the text which is encrypted and no one can decrypt it unless you have the private key. If you want to modify the values, you can actually modify them. For example, instead of root, I want to set KubeCanvas. I'll have to encrypt it again, and I can simply redeploy to my cluster. This is the shortcut to redeploy what I already deployed. So it all works out of the box, and I feel it is really easy and it adds value to the developer's life. This also works very well when we have Helm enabled. We can create variable for the secret and you can encrypt them. So you can have multiple environments where different values and all of them encrypted. One last thing that I want to share with you is that you can share the projects with others, and whenever you will share the project with anyone else, you will have to re-encrypt so that other recipients can also be added into the encrypted values. So I would say that is it, and thank you for watching.